Like, deadass, it got so fucking bad, I could not hold it in anymore, and I went. Storytime, motherfuckers! Woo! Alright, y'all, so it was 2012. Your boy from outer space was still in 3rd grade at the time. I was like 8 years old at the time. It was a normal day in elementary school. We had a half day that day, and it was like in November. Anyways, I was in class, right? It was early morning. Now, usually in the morning, we would just come in, sit down, and do our work. But since it was a half day, my teacher had brought in Dunkin' Donuts to the class. The teacher would always bring in food on half days. Like last time she brought in cereal, but this time it was Dunkin' Donuts. So 8-year-old me was hype as fuck. I had a major sweet tooth when I was little, so I got happy as fuck. So there were boxes of glazed donuts, sprinkled donuts. I'm pretty sure there were like vanilla and chocolate munchkins, you know the vibes. So I was plucked up, I was hype as fuck. So she had basically told some of us that had walked in the classroom to serve ourselves, but we could only get 2 servings as there were like 14 kids in that class total. So as I'm eating my donuts, right? Remember, it was a half day, so a lot of kids did not come into school that day. Our classroom usually had like 14 kids on a daily, but that particular day was limited to like 7 kids. So we had a lot of extra donuts. So I finished my first serving. I had chowed down on some chocolate munchkins and 2 glazed donuts. So I asked the teacher, could I get some more? She basically told me to wait a little bit because she was trying to wait to see if more kids would come in the classroom. Remember, it was a half day. So if people did not show up to school that day, then I could have the extra breakfast that was left. So people basically did not end up showing up, so she let me get some more. So I ended up chowing on the 2nd plate. After that, I went and snuck a 3rd plate. I was hungry as fuck that morning, so I went ahead and snuck me a 4th plate. So after I was done eating the donuts, right, I was straight. I was all good. I was vibing. I had no problems. I was straight. So she had put on a movie for us to write about. I'm pretty sure it was like The Wizard of Oz or some shit. So as I sat down, right, I was just sitting down and chilling and watching the movie, and then your boy's stomach started to grumble. My stomach started to bubble and shit. So you already know I had to take a little doo-doo in this motherfucker. I had to take a shit. I had to take a doo-doo. Now, understand something. In elementary and middle school, I was a little shit. I was a bad kid in elementary school. I was bad as fuck. I was a class clown, always goofing around. So I used to always sit in the back of the class. The teacher put me in the back of the class away from everybody. She would email my parents like 3 times a week. That's how bad I was. She would put me away from my friends and everybody else. I sat next to this one girl. So I'm sitting there like, fuck, I gotta use the bathroom. Now remember, I was a bad kid. So I raised my hand and I had asked the teacher, like, can I go to the bathroom and shit? She thought I was fucking around. She thought I was being a wise ass. She thought I was on some bullshit this early. So she said, no, you cannot go. So she told me no. I was like, okay. Now remember, this was in 3rd grade. If a teacher tells you no in elementary school, there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. You have no power in elementary. You're only 7 to 8 years old. There is nothing you can do about it if a teacher tells you no. Nowadays, if I gotta take a shit in class nowadays, and I ask the teacher if I can go do my business, and the teacher says no, dog, I'm just walking out. I'm not about to shit myself in high school. Bitch, I gotta use it. But anyways, back to the story. My stomach got worse and worse. I had to shit badly. Like, the shit was begging to be let out of my butthole. But I was struggling to hold it in. I was sitting in class mad as fuck. I had to doo-doo. I'm in the back. So if I shit, they're gonna know who did it. So I raised my hand again and I said, I really have to go to the bathroom. Like, I really, really have to go to the bathroom. Can I please go to the bathroom? And she said again, no. So I'm like, ugh. There was pretty much nothing I could do. Bro, it got so bad, bro. I had to doo-doo badly. I had to take a poo-poo bad as hell. So a lot of students did not come to the classroom that day. There weren't a lot of students by me except that one girl that sat next to me. Bro, it got so fucking bad. I couldn't hold it in anymore. Like, deadass, it got so fucking bad. I could not hold it in anymore. And I went, I shit my pants in class, fam. I had actually managed to shit myself in the classroom. It felt wet and drippy. It did not feel good. Luckily, nobody heard it, so it wasn't a big deal. But this shit felt uncomfortable as a motherfucker. Shit felt like a puddle in my pants, fam. It felt like I was sitting on a puddle. It wasn't a little turd. I had let out a whole puddle in my drawers. I had sharted in my pants. I didn't even shit. I sharted in my pants. That shit felt like I was sitting on chocolate pudding. But then, basically a couple minutes later, it was time for us to head on down to music class. Because y'all know in elementary we had like gym class, then music class, then art class. You know the vibes. So yeah, anyways, she turned off the movie and she had told all of us to grab our backpacks from the cubby areas and get into a line by the door because after music class, it was time to go home. You know I went all the way to the back of the line because I knew good and damn well there was a big shit stain in the back of my pants. So I went all the way to the back of the line, and as we were walking down the hallways to music class, I felt something drip down my leg. And I started sweating, dog, because I knew it wasn't pee. Like, I started to sweat because I knew it wasn't pee. It was too thick and wet to be pee-pee. Pee is more liquidy. So I knew good and damn well it was shit. So when we walked into the music class moments later, I went, grabbed me a tissue, and when no one was looking, I wiped the shit leak off my leg and threw it in the trash can, Kobe style. Rest in peace. Anyways, I sat down away from most kids, and it was even worse this time because when I sat down, it felt like I was sitting on something hard and mushy. It did not feel good. So yeah, the music teacher started to make us sing along to some shit. I don't even know. But what I do remember is the smell of my shit spreading around the entire classroom. So kids around the class started to smell that shit, and they were like, ew, it smells like poo-poo. Somebody farted. You know how little kids be when something smells bad. Ew, it stinks. You know little kids talking shit. Anyways, they don't know who the fuck did it. And there were like 7 kids in the class total, me included. So they started pointing fingers. They started to point fingers. Real shit, they started pointing fingers. I was sitting behind this one kid, and I blamed it on this other kid sitting close to us. Now, this kid was named Matthew. Now, Matthew was a kid at the time that always smelled bad. Always. Matthew smelled disgusting in general. So I secretly blamed it on Matthew. So I was like, yeah, I don't think he wiped very well. And we laughed. So yeah. Then it was time to go home after that. Like I said, it was a half day. So I just sat there waiting anxiously until they had called my bus on the loudspeaker. Because you had to wait until they called your bus name on the loudspeaker. So they had called my bus. I knew good and damn well there was a mega shit stain on my drawers. So, like, bro, I knew good and damn well there was a mega shit stain on my pants. I knew good and damn well that there was a mega shit stain on my pants. So I covered it up with my backpack. Like, I lowered my backpack so it would cover it up. As I was walking, more doo-doo started to leak down my legs. So as I walked out, I silently grabbed more tissues and I wiped the shit off my leg as I was walking out. And yeah, I got on the bus. Straight silence for me. I sat in the middle of the bus because the front seats were taken. So I was like, dang. So I sat down. Straight silence for me for the entire bus ride. I didn't talk to a single person that entire bus ride. I did not talk to a single person that entire bus ride. I did not talk to anyone. I normally talk to a lot of people because I was just social like that. But normally, I would talk to a lot of people. But this time I talked to no one because I just wanted to get home and clean myself because it felt like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory down in my pants. So the bus got to my neighborhood. I started walking off quickly. I was behind this one kid that lived in my neighborhood. He was slow as hell when it got to walking off the bus. So as I was getting off, more shit started to drip down my leg. Now, there were no paper towels or napkins or tissues this time because I was on the bus. So I had to wait until I had got home. Now, this time, I got very, very unlucky. This kindergartner on the bus saw the shit leaking down my leg as I was walking off, and she fucking screamed, dog. She was like, ew! And before she could say anything else, I pushed the kid in front of me out of my way, and I had bolted off the bus. I had sprinted off the bus down the street to my house. I was not about to be known as the kid that shit his pants. Fuck that shit. So I started sprinting down the street to my house. Minutes later, I got to my house. I slammed the door, ran into the bathroom, wiped myself, cleaned myself. Brody, my pants looked disgusting on the inside. That shit looked like a whole shit ocean. That shit was disgusting. So I cleaned myself, I wiped myself, I washed my pants, I washed my drawers, I put them in the washing machine, and I went and took a shower. Luckily, it was a Friday, and that next week there was no school because it was the week of Thanksgiving. So yeah, after that, I never took a shit in school again. I never took a shit in school again after that day, dog. I don't give a fuck what time of the day it is. If I need to take a shit, I'm going home and I'll see you tomorrow. Ever since that day, I have never taken a shit in school again since that day in 3rd grade. But yeah, man, that was my second story time for you guys. I got so many more story times to bless you all. Like, I never tell people that I shit myself in 3rd grade because, bro, that shit is embarrassing. So for me to tell you guys this shit, it really shows that you guys are like family to me. 111. We're a family on here. I'm heavily rocking with y'all. But anyways, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, share. I love you all, my earthling beings. Stay safe, alien.